Welcome peeps to another high protein full day of eating. First thing we're going to do to kick off the day though is start off on my treadmill. So I'm going to do around 300 calories on there, which is roughly going to take me around 35 minutes. Then I'm going to come back to you guys and kick the day off with the most healthiest meal you've probably ever seen in your life. And what we're going to start off with is a pizza. You're probably thinking, TJ, why on earth would you start with a pizza? And in simple terms, because I can, and simply because the pizza I'm going to make isn't actually that bad. We're going to use a soft pita, tomato puree, and some queso, aka some low-fat cheese. If you haven't seen my recipe for making low-calorie pizza, it's literally a 3-ingredient thing. And that is the basic cheese pizza that I was talking about. But now what I'm going to do is actually add some meat. So I've got ham here, chorizo. You can go really extra with this. You can get peppers, you can chop them up and all that stuff. Actually, you know what? I do have peppers. Just to kind of just show you how intricate you can get while making a pizza very, very easy. A lot of people would say you can't have pizza for breakfast, but yes, I would agree not having Domino's pizza for breakfast would be smart, simply because Domino's pizza is just a whole bunch of grease and extra fat, which will probably make you feel more lethargic and slow in the morning, whereas this is basically very simple, like taking away the tomato puree, this is basically cheese on top. Then all you have to do is put them on the grill or in an air fryer for a very short period of time, because literally all you're doing is melting the cheese. The meat's already cooked, so it only takes, depending on what heat you put it on, around 5 to 8 minutes. Make sure you don't burn it. I've had too many people message me and go, oh my god, I burnt mine, because they put it in there like it's a frozen pizza for 20 minutes. Quick tip as well is, if you recreate this, I would put like the peppers and the meat on the pizza before you put the cheese, because at least then the cheese will almost melt on top of it and glue it into place. You're going to see that pizza we had a second ago is roughly around 15 grams of protein. Bearing in mind, you could technically have 2 slices of it as well. And then what we're going to have is protein shake. This is the black cherry Superman flavor. I mentioned it in the last full day of eating. Very, very, very nice flavor. It's definitely my top flavor for the clear wheys. I find myself having it even when I technically don't even need to have a protein shake because it just tastes good. But today, I feel like because of what I'm starting for breakfast, this is going to help get me closer. So we've got a scoop of this, which I'm going to drink as I eat my meal. Right, and I think the pizza is done. Boom. Oh, it looks nice. Ha, 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 ha. So here is the little mini pizza. Boom. Looks like one of the ones you'd probably buy from Greg's or something. And because of the base I've chosen, it's really soft. But before I big up this pizza that much, I will let you know in advance. It's higher calorie, but depending if you use a full pizza. But like, if you use the red onion and chive bagels, they taste way better as a pizza because the base has a chive and onion in it, and it really goes well with tomato puree. It makes it taste just, I wouldn't even have to do the extra spice and stuff, it just tastes really good. So if you cut one bagel into half, that makes 2 slices as well. You'll see the macros for this on the screen. It should roughly be around 250 calories like I suggested. I can't remember all the macros, you'll see it on screen, but the protein was around 15 grams. I'm gonna say fat was around maybe 7 or 8. In essence, you'd see it on screen. So I'm gonna have this now, then probably try and get to the gym. Alright people, so right now we're finishing the gym. Now we're going to go home and go for the next meal. I'm going to get another walk in. Obviously I don't have my car anymore, so I've been enjoying it though, walking to the gym, walking back. It's roughly around 25 minutes here, 30 minutes back, it's uphill. In the odd chance you don't know this recipe already, you should already know it. So we're gonna have high protein cereal, so it's high fiber also because obviously it's the old brand. So you're roughly putting around 40 grams of that into the bowl. If you've never tried it, definitely try it. Like, don't knock it until you actually have tried it. It's really, really good. Benefit of doing this recipe so much, I more or less know like the portion sizes because I've done it. I've actually do it every day. Like in the last video, I think I said I do this 3 times a week. No, I do way more than that. I used to do it 3 times a week when it was vanilla whey protein because it didn't taste as good. But now that I've got the cereal milk back in stock, I've actually had this at least 5 to 6 days of the week. I have this for my first meal usually. So where you saw me at the pizza earlier on, I probably normally would have started the day with this. Really nice and filling, and because it's got a lot of carbs as well, if I had this before going to the gym, I feel great. So yeah. So far today we have had two very simple, very quick meals. So the pizza this morning was like what? It took less than 10 minutes to make. This right now took less than 5 minutes to make. Very, very simple, and they're both fairly high protein in regards to me having the protein shake earlier as well. So far in the day we're at like around 800 calories and 65 grams of protein already, and we're in, let's see, fiber we're already at 19 grams. That just shows that you can start having a high protein diet, like very, very simple, just with some small adjustments. And we haven't even got into like making like the real meals that like, as in like the actual meats and stuff yet, like we're going to later on today. Then we're going to take a pita and toast it so it can obviously open up. Bearing in mind we had this earlier, so I'm just showing you how you can use one ingredient and kind of flip it around different ways. So this is probably the way a pita was meant to be used, because obviously a pita is meant to be a pocket, isn't it? And you put stuff in it. So that omelette that I've made, basically what I'm going to do is fold it up and put it inside the pita, slide in the bacon, and it'll just be very easy to kind of add to my actual pita. In terms of protein, for this whole thing, especially because I used a real egg in it, a duck egg, we're looking at probably at least 55 grams of protein. But yeah, you're going to see the stuff on screen in a minute. Hopefully I'm pretty close on the mark. But the whole point is, the reason why I can be somewhat close off the top of my head is simply because I have these foods fairly regular. So that is the benefit of tracking your foods. You begin to learn portion sizes, you learn about the intake of food, you'll be able to look at something and even estimate what it is. And that's a good trait, for example, when you go to other people's houses or for meals out, because you don't want to be pulling out your scale in a restaurant or at someone's house, because that's just too pedantic. So in reality, at least then, if you went somewhere, you could go, ooh, chicken breast, that's roughly around 200 grams of chicken breast. So I know in this meal I've had XYZ amount of protein, and that just becomes easy then, so you don't have to say. And also, if you do this at a meal out with family or friends, do not say this out loud. It's a very pedantic thing that's annoying. So yeah, don't do that. This is the sort of stuff you keep to yourself. But yeah, in a past life I was probably a chef. So when you take the pita out, what I will say is, I know it sounds common sense, but be very careful, because you'll be surprised how hot the inside of a pita is when you take it out of the toaster. When I first did this for the first time in ages, I burnt my finger because the steam went straight onto my hand and it burnt like nothing, man. I don't know why people say it. It burnt a lot. It hurt a lot. All right, so let's try. You know, I'll squeeze the bacon in afterwards because it'll be easy to slide them in. It's the egg that I may have to cut down in size. And this is a fair amount of egg, by the way. This is a lot. This looks tasty. Let me just show you a picture before I carry on. That huevos looks pretty damn good. But yeah, I'm going to squeeze in as much as I can. I might half it, because to be honest, I wouldn't mind having half of it as an actual omelette. Because also then, it won't change the calories, but splitting out the food so it's just not eating in 1 or 2 bites makes you feel more full. Okay, it's one of those things like, because it's spread out a lot more, it kind of tricks your brain to eat more because you've chewed more. So the more you chew your food is how your brain naturally will assume you're more full. Simple but efficient meal to have. But anyways, people, I'm going to eat this right now and get back to you guys for the next meal, or probably some snacks, because I haven't had no fruits yet, I don't think, so I'm going to have that probably next. Hold up, it would be rude if I didn't at least show you me eating this. I know I'm screaming, it's because I haven't got the mic on. Those duck eggs are so good. So what we're going to go for is chicken fillets, because I haven't cooked this a lot on this channel anymore. Like, I used to cook chicken fillets all the time, like back in the day. It's probably about 4 or 5 years ago. But because I had it so much earlier in my fitnessy kind of lifestyle, I kind of went off it, so I don't have it that frequent. But today we are going to have it. You know, we're going to keep banging out chorizo today. I'm just thinking, how should I have it? This is how most of these food avians go. They're very freestyled. There's not like a set thing. So I was going to have the fajitas with these sweet potatoes, which I bought from Lidl, they're already made. However, they ain't looking too fresh, to be honest, and I am not gonna cook it. It says that they went out a day 3 days ago. That's probably why. I'm not risking it, so yeah, I'm not gonna have that. Every time you guys watch this full day video, you're probably thinking, TJ, is any of your food on? Yes, but I normally go food shopping 2 days from now. Let's go for, should I go for a chicken wrap or chicken bagel? You know what, no, let's go for a wrap. I haven't had a wrap in a minute, so I'm gonna have a wrap. We're gonna go for chicken fillets, wrap, some cheese, and chorizo again. So these are like a reoccurring theme today. And it's just the way, the reason why I love the chorizo, by the way, is because it adds such a nice little spicy kind of kick to it. You know, it's like 50 calories and under. Chicken is cooking right now. In case you're wondering, yes, I did wash the chicken. It's just a thing that most ethnic people do. I know some people still say not to, but we do. So yeah, that's basically gonna cook for a bit. So this was a 500 grams of chicken in one packet. I'm not gonna eat that in one sitting. I will probably have half of it, so it'll be like 250 grams. And yeah, so that's basically gonna cook now. Then we're gonna have it with cheese and that. Unfortunately, I haven't got any salad left today. Like, I would have liked to use the salad that I used in the last full day video, which is a nice crispy lettuce one. But if I'm being honest, the rain started hitting hard and I was not walking too little in that rain. What I'll do is, I think I may start getting some frozen things for like foods like veg that goes off so quickly in my fridge. So at least then if I have some frozen versions, if the fresh one's not here, I can just use that. So that's what I used to do years back. I used to only buy frozen veg because, well, it lasts longer and it's cheaper. So I might go back to doing that when I don't have fresh food. I recommend that to you guys as well. It also can be cheaper as well. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys when this food has finished cooking. Yo, can you hear that? It's literally, the chicken sounds like rain. But yeah, basically, if you didn't know this already, when it comes to chicken, the key thing is when you cut through it, it should be white on the inside. It shouldn't be obviously pink. If it's pink, do not eat that shit. Also, another one, if you got like chicken pieces, you can just stab it with like a fork and hopefully the juices out of it, it's not blood, it runs clear. So those are the 2 checks. So yeah, never eat pink chicken, no matter where you go. It's not a delicacy, it's not steak, you can't do that. So yeah, just letting you guys know. So we got half the chicken left, which I'll probably eat tomorrow. I may have maybe 1 or 2 pieces if I get hungry later on today, but I highly doubt it. It's pretty late already now. We're currently looking at 9:30 p.m. So yeah, what we got now is a nice chicken wrap. Boom, boom, boom. We got cheese in there, we got a little bit of chorizo, and we've got around 250 grams of the chicken, which is a lot of protein. That's 250 grams of chicken would be around 70 grams of protein, so that's quite a decent amount. Like, as soon as I finish that wrap, what I'm going to come back and have is this full pack of blueberries, and I don't think I have any raspberries left. Nope. And I'm also going to have my last 2 packs of light Hartley's jellies. These are roughly, I think, 5 calories per one. So, no! Didn't crack. So we are going to eat that as soon as we finish here. So I'll also put those in my fitness pal. I know I'm going to get peckish again around 11:30, most likely, so an hour and a half from now. But what I'm going to have is this apple that I've been eyeing up all day. It's a fairly large gala apple. If you're an OG follower, you know I love my gala apples. So yeah, that will definitely be the last thing to fill me up, especially because apples are quite filling, especially if you get like a decent sized one. So I'll have those other fruits, which was the blueberries and the jelly, straight after the wrap, just because I like having something sweet after having something savoury. And then later on, when I'm peckish in the evening, when I'm probably doing some work on my laptop, I'll eat the apple, and then that will probably be all my calories for the day. You'll see the macros on screen now. I'm pretty sure the calories will be around 2100 to 2200. I've also just logged into my fitness pal so I can kind of see the where I'm at. We're at 215 grams of protein. That's pretty damn high. Like, even if I take away the protein shake that I had earlier today, that's a fair amount of protein. So the moral of the story is, like, just pretend I didn't have the protein shake, then we're looking at around like 175 or 180 grams of protein. So that's just something to remember, that sometimes a lot of people run to protein shakes before they even need it. Like, try and hit as much of your protein intake as you can from actual food, and then only have protein when you need to like get closer to your goal. That's ideally what you should be doing. But anyways, since I've been standing here faffing, this should be edible to eat now. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit a thumbs up. It's a nice high protein food aid eating, and it's just another example of how you can have a high protein diet off very simple meals. Anyways, deuces, I'll see you in the next video.
Make $1 million cash for you flatline. Make a master plan, watch it backfire.